What if the pillar of strength you have leaned on for your entire life, the food you were told was the perfect and complete source of power, is not the strongest stone for this season of your life? What if its very nature, while good, is incomplete for the temple you now inhabit? Most will hear this and think it is a simple dietary swap. They will miss the profound principle behind the choice. 99% will skip the final chapter on the holistic foundation, and without it, they will simply trade one food for another, never understanding the true art of rebuilding. Understanding foundation. Before we can speak of what to build with, we must first understand the nature of the structure we are tending. After the age of 60, the nature of strength changes. The strength of youth is a fiery, explosive strength. It is the strength of the bonfire. The strength of the later years is a deep, resilient, and enduring strength. It is the strength of the mountain. To try and build the strength of a mountain using the fuel of a bonfire is a path of exhaustion and frustration. We must change our materials. We must change our understanding. The modern world has taught us to see our bodies and our food in a fragmented way. We are told we need protein for muscle, so we seek out the most concentrated sources of this isolated nutrient. We see our bodies as a simple machine. Put in protein, get out muscle. This is a shallow and incomplete view. The body is not a machine. It is a garden. It is an ecosystem. And the health of the most beautiful flower is entirely dependent on the quality of the soil, the purity of the water, and the warmth of the sun. To focus only on the flower is to ignore the very foundation of its life. Muscle is this flower. To focus only on providing it with protein is to ignore the deeper needs of the entire ecosystem. What is the state of your inner soil, your digestive system? Is it a rich, fertile ground, or is it a depleted, inflamed desert? What is the state of your inner rivers, your circulation? Are they flowing freely, bringing nourishment, or are they stagnant and sludgy? What is the state of your inner fire, your metabolic health? Is it a clean, steady flame, or a smoky, inefficient blaze? The strength of the muscle is a reflection of the harmony of the entire inner world. The path of wisdom is to choose foods that do not just provide a single, isolated nutrient, but that nourish the entire ecosystem. We must seek foods that tend to the soil, that purify the water, and that support the clean burning of the fire. This is a more subtle, more intelligent, and infinitely more powerful approach to building strength. It is the difference between being a laborer who just throws stones onto a pile and being the master architect who understands that the integrity of the entire temple depends on the harmony of all its parts. The bean we will discuss is not just a different kind of stone, it is a lesson in this deeper form of architecture. Common pillar. For decades, we have been taught that the egg is the perfect pillar. It is the gold standard of protein, a complete and self-contained source of this essential building block. And in many ways, this is true. The egg is a good and honorable food. It is a strong stone. But the wise architect does not build his entire temple from a single type of stone. He understands that different parts of the structure have different needs. And for the temple after 60, the very nature of the egg, while beneficial in some ways, can be incomplete and even burdensome in others. The protein in an egg is of high quality, yes, but it is also a very concentrated animal-based protein. For a digestive fire that has become more gentle, more refined with age, this can be a heavy log to burn, it can be congesting, it can create a state of inner dampness and stagnation, leaving you feeling heavy and sluggish, even as you believe you are nourishing yourself. The energy required to break down and assimilate this dense protein can sometimes be a net loss for a system that is seeking to conserve and cultivate its vital force. Furthermore, the quality of the egg, the very information it carries, is entirely dependent on the life of the chicken that laid it. An egg from a bird raised in a cage, fed a diet of medicated grain, is a profoundly different substance from the egg of a bird that has lived in the sun and eaten its natural diet. One carries the energy of stress and confinement. The other carries the energy of vitality. To ignore this is to build with stones of unknown quality, stones that may have hidden cracks and flaws. But the most important limitation of the egg in the context of our holistic understanding is what it lacks. It provides the protein, the stone for the wall, but it does little to tend to the inner soil of your gut. It does little to provide the deep, mineral-rich nourishment that the entire frame of the temple requires. It is a specialist, a provider of one thing, and the path of wisdom for the aging body is the path of the generalist, the path of synergy, the path of foods that nourish the whole, not just the part. The egg is a good pillar, but we are now seeking a food that is not just a pillar, but a part of the very foundation itself. Humble Earth, the food we seek is not exotic. It is not a product of a laboratory. It is one of the most ancient and humble foods known to humanity. It is born of the quiet, dark earth. It is the lentil. To the modern mind, which has been trained to equate strength with the consumption of animal flesh, this may seem like a weak and insufficient choice. This is the first illusion we must overcome. The lentil is a powerhouse of a different kind. Its strength is not the aggressive, fiery strength of the predator, but the deep, patient, and enduring strength of the earth itself. It is a food of profound stability. Let us first address the protein. Lentils are a rich source of plant-based protein. A single cooked cup can provide around 18 grams of this vital building block. It is true that, on its own, the protein in lentils is not complete, meaning it does not contain all 9 essential amino acids in ideal ratios. But this is not a weakness. It is an invitation to wisdom. It is an invitation to a practice of gentle combination. When paired with a whole grain like brown rice or a piece of whole wheat bread, the amino acid profile becomes complete. This is the ancient and intelligent practice of food synergy, a practice that encourages a varied and balanced diet, not a reliance on a single perfect food. But the true power of the lentil is not just in its protein. It is in its energetic nature and its ease of digestion. Unlike the dense, heavy protein of the egg, the protein in lentils is delivered in a matrix of complex carbohydrates and fiber. This makes it a much lighter and easier food for the maturing digestive system to handle. It nourishes without congesting, it builds without burdening, it provides a slow, steady release of energy, a clean burning fuel that supports the quiet flame of your metabolism rather than overwhelming it. The energy you feel after a meal of lentils is not a heavy, sluggish energy, but a calm, grounded, and enduring vitality. It is the energy of the mountain, not the bonfire. This is a food that is in harmony with the needs of the season of life you are in. To choose the lentil is an act of humility. It is a willingness to look for strength not in the loud and the obvious, but in the quiet and the foundational. It is a return to a simpler, more ancient way of nourishment. It is a way of saying to your body, I will no longer burden you with heavy tasks. I will provide you with a clean, simple, and powerful fuel that you can use with ease and efficiency. This is an act of deep kindness to your inner temple, inner soil. Here we arrive at the heart of the matter, the profound secret of the lentil that makes it a superior choice for the wise architect of the aging body. It is what the lentil possesses in abundance and what the egg almost completely lacks: fiber. This may not sound as exciting as protein, but it is infinitely more important for the creation of a truly anabolic, muscle-building inner environment. The fiber in lentils is the food for your inner soil. It is the nourishment for the trillions of beneficial microbes that live in your gut, your microbiome, and the health of this inner garden is the absolute foundation of your strength. We now understand that there is a powerful and direct communication pathway between the gut and the muscles, known as the gut-muscle axis. A healthy, diverse microbiome, fed by a rich supply of fiber, does two crucial things. First, it helps to cool the silent, smoldering fire of chronic inflammation. This inflammation, as we have discussed, is a primary driver of muscle breakdown. The beneficial bacteria in your gut produce compounds that create a state of systemic peace, a non-inflamed environment. In this peaceful environment, the catabolic or breakdown signals are quieted. You are closing the door to the forces of decay. Second, A healthy gut is essential for the proper digestion and absorption of nutrients. You can eat all the protein in the world, but if your gut is an inflamed, unhealthy place, you will not be able to break that protein down and absorb the amino acids into your bloodstream where they can be used to build muscle. A healthy gut ensures that the building materials you consume actually reach the construction site. To eat lentils is to be a master gardener of your inner soil. You are not just feeding yourself, you are feeding the vast and intelligent army of allies that live within you. You are creating an inner environment that is peaceful, not inflamed. You are creating a digestive system that is efficient and powerful. You are creating the perfect conditions for muscle to be built and preserved. This is a far more intelligent and holistic strategy than simply throwing more and more isolated protein at the problem. You are not just providing the stones for the temple wall, you are ensuring that the very ground the temple is built upon is solid, fertile, and full of life. This is the wisdom of nourishing the whole, not just the part. Mineral wealth. The synergistic wisdom of the lentil extends even further. It is not just a source of protein and fiber, it is a treasure chest of the very minerals that are essential for muscle function, energy production, and overall structural integrity. These are the supporting players, the master craftsmen, and the essential tools that are often overlooked in our single-minded pursuit of protein, but without them, no building can take place. Lentils are an exceptional source of iron. Iron is the core component of hemoglobin in your red blood cells, the molecule that is responsible for carrying oxygen to every cell in your body, including your muscles. A muscle that is starved of oxygen is a muscle that is weak and fatigued. It cannot perform and it cannot repair itself. To ensure a rich supply of iron is to ensure that your muscles are constantly bathed in the life-giving energy of oxygen. They are also a rich source of magnesium. If iron is the carrier of oxygen, magnesium is the master of energy and relaxation. It is a crucial component in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, including the very process of creating ATP, the body's primary energy currency. It is also essential for proper muscle function, allowing the muscle to contract and, just as importantly, to relax. A deficiency in magnesium can lead to cramps, weakness, and a feeling of chronic tension. Furthermore, lentils provide a wealth of folate, a B vitamin that is essential for cell growth and repair. Every time you challenge your muscles, you are creating microscopic tears that need to be repaired. Folate is one of the key nutrients that oversees this intricate process of mending and rebuilding. When you consume a meal of lentils, you are not just consuming a single nutrient, you are consuming a complete synergistic package. You are providing the protein, the building blocks, the fiber to prepare the soil and cool the fire, and the essential minerals, the craftsmen and their tools. This is the profound intelligence of whole foods. Nature does not package its gifts in isolation. It provides them in a complete and harmonious context where each element supports the function of the others. To choose the lentil is to embrace this holistic wisdom. It is to provide your temple with not just the stones, but with the entire team of skilled artisans needed to build a structure of enduring strength. Holistic foundation. We have explored the journey from the common pillar of the egg to the humble earth of the lentil. But the final and most important principle is not about choosing one food over another. It is about a fundamental shift in your entire approach to nourishment. It is the principle of the holistic foundation. It is the understanding that the strength of any single part of you, your muscles, your bones, your mind, is a direct reflection of the health of the whole. You cannot build a strong muscle in a weak, inflamed, and depleted body. This principle asks you to become the wise steward of your entire inner ecosystem. It is a practice of looking beyond the surface and tending to the roots. It has 3 core tenets. The first is nourish the soil. This is the commitment to prioritize the health of your gut. It means embracing fiber-rich foods like lentils, beans, whole grains, and a wide variety of vegetables. It means understanding that by feeding your microbiome, you are creating the peaceful, non-inflamed foundation upon which all health is built. The second tenet is embrace synergy. This is the practice of moving away from the obsession with isolated nutrients and towards the wisdom of whole foods. It is the understanding that the power of a food lies not in a single compound, but in the complex and intelligent interplay of all its components. It is the art of combining foods like lentils and rice to create a completeness that no single food can offer. It is a more gentle, more balanced, and more intelligent way of eating.